Roderick accepted the cat with a shocked expression. In any case, to lift the curse on his daughter, he had to break Suki's magical seal, so if he said it like that, it wouldn't be wrong to believe him. As he nodded, Isidore took off the bracelet he had put on Suki. She stretched her wrists, twisting them from side to side, and then looked at Isla, who was standing awkwardly in the corner. "Are you that girl? You've grown so much that I don't recognize you." It wasn't the best time to feel the transience of time, but Suki looked her up and down with a bitter smile. "There is a lot of noise, so hurry up and proceed with the ceremony." As Isidore bid her farewell in a cold voice, Suki pouted and began to prepare for the ritual to lift the curse. The first thing he did was prepare a potion under Isidore's supervision. He kept a close eye on Suki, making sure she didn't add anything suspicious. Upon Isidore's approval, the finished potion was handed to Isla in a vial with a light blue liquid. "Now, girl. When the ritual begins, keep this in your mouth. Don't spit it out until it's finished." Isla, who had already experienced this ritual in her past life, nodded. If his memory was correct, Suki was about to draw a magic circle on the ground with crimson magic ink. And just as Isla expected, he began to draw a complex magic circle on the ground, struggling to keep up. It was a process that took a long time. "Yes, that's it. Girl, take your medicine and come sit here." While Isla followed his instructions and took the medicine, she sat in the center of the magic circle. Suki put red ink on her hand and drew a pattern on Isla's forehead. After completing that elaborate and delicate work, Roderick watched her, holding the cat. Suki knelt on the ground and began to recite a spell. The symbols surrounding Isla shone brightly, emitting a mysterious aura. And when that light begins to disperse little by little, Isla felt somehow lighter than usual. "It's already over." Suki offered him the bowl, which meant he could now spit out the medicine. Isla opened her mouth and spat out the medicine. The liquid, which had clearly been blue, had turned pitch black. It was a deep black, as if it had absorbed all the light in the world. Why didn't he realize it in his past life? No matter how she looked at it, it was such a suspicious ritual, but she blindly believed Byron's lie that it was a ritual for success. But that was in the past, and now there is no longer a curse. Isla wiped her mouth with the tissue her father offered her and closed her eyes in silence. She was very happy, relieved and overwhelmed, but she didn't feel completely happy. Because he's not done getting revenge on the person who did this to him yet. Until now, his parents had cooperated with his operations due to the curse, but it was unknown what would happen in the future. "Come here, Isla." When she opened her eyes, Roderick was there with his arms outstretched, wearing the brightest, most radiant smile she had ever seen. Isla quickly ran to her father and hugged him. His embrace was warm as always, and he smelled fresh and woody. "Don't worry about anything now, my daughter." "Yes, father. Thank you so much." He held back his tears and hugged his father tightly. Then, Roderick whispered in her ear, "I already obtained your mother's permission before leaving. We will do what you want. We will set a trap and capture him. But if you become dangerous, we can always change our mind." "Is it true, father?" It was incredible. It was enough to free himself from the curse that threatened his life, but even to obtain his parents' permission. With that sensation, he felt like he could fly. "Yes, that's true," Roderick said softly. "We will share the joy later, and now let this body go. So, can I go back to my beloved pumpkin and my precious home?" But then, Suki opened her mouth, breaking the friendly atmosphere. "What do you mean by freeing yourself? Just because you have lifted the curse now does not mean that the sins you committed will go away. You deserve to be punished accordingly." Isidore, who had been looking at his niece and brother-in-law with a warm smile, narrowed his eyes and spoke. His expression was truly astonishing. "What's that?" Isn't this story different from the first? You'll have to stay here for now. Until I catch the person who asked you to put the curse on. After that, you will have to face punishment according to the law. Roderick also seemed to agree with Isidore, speaking in a gruff voice. Suki shouted with a grim expression on her face. It's unfair. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I just put in the curse just in case, and he said he'd never used it. I thought it was fun to try the magic myself, so I did. Then I guess you can testify like this in court. That way you could avoid the death penalty, Roderick responded nonchalantly, wrapping Isla in his cloak, while Isidore, with a stern expression, returned the bracelet to her. Don't worry, I won't neglect you while you're here. Although it is a curse that you created yourself, you saved my daughter's life, so I will treat you as a benefactor. Roderick returned the cat to Suki, back in his owner's arms. He purred and rubbed your face against his. Suki sat on the bed with a sullen face, petting her cat. His expression was very complex. Then let's go. I need to wipe the ink off your forehead before you go to bed. Yes, father. It was when they were trying to leave the prison, leaving Suki behind. Wait a moment, stay there. Suki grabbed them with an urgent voice. That? I'm sorry. I wanted to apologize. I don't ask for forgiveness. If someone cast such a terrible curse on my pumpkin, I wouldn't be able to forgive them either. He bowed his head and apologized politely. His voice was full of sincerity. Yes, I understand. Although slightly surprised by the unexpected apology, Roderick left the dungeon in silence. And then he thought this. He thought that Suki and Sidio, although still immature and somewhat strange, despite being over 40 years old, might not be such a bad person. Laura, who had inadvertently taken a sleeping pill and fallen asleep, slept soundly until the next morning. She slept so soundly that the fatigue from the long journey completely disappeared, feeling noticeably lighter. Ah, that's good. Then I think I'll go wake that girl up. Laura stretched, ready to start the day. It was a normal day, just like any other. His day always started by waking up Isla hailing Weishafen. Even when he had to flee the Empire with his mother as a member of a rebellious family, even when he infiltrated the Duke's family, his enemy, incognito, and even now, when leaving that place for a while. Nothing changed. It's annoying, but what can I do? Laura sighed deeply and headed to Isla's room. It was fortunate that she could wake up on her own without having to make any effort, since she was used to training early since she was little. Miss, wake up. By now, the sun will be high. He woke up Isla, who was sleeping soundly, by shaking her without anyone noticing. In reality, she had planned to spend the day at the villa resting and recovering from the aftermath, so there was no need to wake her up early. However, he didn't want to see the annoying Isla sleeping peacefully. Miss. Laura raised her voice a little and woke Isla up again. Normally, she would be awake by now, but today, no matter how much I shook her, she didn't seem to want to wake up. Why is it like this? She frowned, perplexed, as she examined Isla's condition. He had been fine until the night before, but for some reason, he was moaning and sweating profusely. I don't think I have a fever. What do I do? Laura froze for a moment, startled. It was even more disconcerting because Isla was not a frequent sick person. Let's warn everyone first. Then, when I can, I will contact my mother. He calmed down quickly and bit his lip nervously. Byron had instructed him to contact him in case of emergency. And soon after, Roderick and Isidore, startled by Laura's words that Isla was sick, ran into the room. Isla, Isla. Roderick called his daughter in a panicked voice, waking her up. With his voice already booming, even the most sleepy girl would wake up. But Isla didn't wake up even with the loud noise. He was not motionless, but simply grimaced at the loud noise, unable to come to his senses.